As we know that the ultimate source of energy and light is this sun now. Whenever this light from sun is falling on this earth or on this moon, we see on earth and on moon respectively. Now the question is why lunar eclipse and why solar eclipse happen. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. I hope all of you are in the best condition of health and demand. Today I am going to explain the interplay of our solar system, which is the interplay of sun, earth and the moon revolving and rotating about their own axis respectively. We know that the earth has two types of motion. One is rotation and the other is revolution. Now what is rotation? Rotation of earth is that the earth spins on its own axis in its own orbit. And it takes 24 hours, that is one day for its one complete rotation. And what is revolution of the earth? Revolution of the earth is the earth revolves around this sun and it takes almost 365 days, 6 hours and almost 9 minutes, and these 6 hours and 9 minutes aids after 4 years, and then becomes one day, and that day which adds to the one complete year is designated as a leap year, and it occurs on 29th of February each, and that comes every fourth year. Now we know that the earth revolves from west towards east. That is, the earth rotation around the sun is from west towards east. And also the earth rotating not exactly at north one, rather it rotates at 23.45 degree from west towards east. Now this is the earth, it revolves around this sun now, an elliptical path. Note, this is not an exact circular path, rather this is an elliptical path. Illustration, I will take this diagram as an earth, and for more explanation I will take a glass in example of moon, because we know that the size of the sun is way larger than the size of the earth, and the size of the earth is also larger than the size of the moon. Now this is the earth, it spinning, it is rotating on its own axis, and it takes 24 hours to complete its one rotation. Also the earth is revolving around this solar system, and if it completes one revolution, it takes 365 days, 6 hours and 9 minutes. That ends after 4 years, and that day comes on every 29th of February, and that year is termed as a leap year. Now for more illustration I will confine myself to this system. Now this is the sun, which is giving energy and light to the whole solar system. This is the earth, which is spinning, it is rotating on its own axis, also it is revolving around this sun system. Now as I explained earlier, that I will take a glass as an example. Our full moon is the size of this jug is larger than the size of this glass. Now this is the sun. We all know the primary source of light and energy is the sun. This sun is giving energy to all the system in the solar system. Let's suppose this is the earth and it reaches this position, and we are mainly concerned with the revolution of moon around the earth and revolution of earth around the earth, and also their own rotation and its own axis. Let's suppose this is the earth, and this is when the light is falling on this earth, we see objects, and we know that we see objects when there is a light. We don't see it dark. Now let's suppose this is the sun, and it radiates energy, also light, and we see this at daytime. Also we know that the earth is orbiting, rotates about its own axis. Now if we if this is the moon, and this is daytime, and we see this moon. Now at this point, we don't see moon. Why we don't see? Because we know that the size of the earth is larger than the size of the moon. Now at this point, there is a night time. And we don't see this moon. This is called a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is when the earth comes in between the path of the sun and the moon. Now if the moon rotates further it rotates, and this becomes evening time, and this becomes night time. Now this is the light of the sun, it falling on that moon. This is night time. Now the reflection of this light also falls on this earth, and that's why we see clearly when the moon is full, that is when the moon has 27, 26, 25 days of its complete revolution. We know that the earth rotation on its own axis is 30 point some point days, and the rotation of this moon is 27.3 days. And that's why we see clearly at night, even at night when the moon is full, we call that the full moon. Why the solar eclipse happens? We know that the solar eclipse is that point when the moon comes in between the path of the sun, facing the light, and the earth. That is, we don't see the sun at daytime. That is, we don't see sunlight at daytime. Now, we know that the moon is revolving also around the earth's orbit. When this light from the sun falls on this moon, part of the earth, remember it is not the full earth, part of the earth comes at shadow point, that is the moon. The moon don't prevent the light coming from the sun, and we don't observe the sun at daytime. This is called the solar eclipse. I hope it's clear. We explained earlier in our previous video about the interplay of sun, earth and moon and their revolution in their own axis. Now we're gonna explain it further. As we know that the ultimate source of energy and light is this sun. Now, whenever this light from sun is falling on this earth or on this moon, we see on earth and on moon respectively. Now the question is, why lunar eclipse and why solar eclipse happen now? Before going to explain, let me give a brief intro of this lunar eclipse. What is lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse is that instance when we can't see that moon, and this happens when the light coming from that sun can't fall on this moon. It is mainly because of the earth comes in between the line of the light coming from that sun and the moon. That's why we can't see moon, and it is temporarily. And second one is solar eclipse. Solar eclipse is that instance when we can't see, when we are on earth and can't see the sun at daytime. Solar eclipse happens at daytime. That is, we can't see we will be on part of the earth and we can't see the sun, and this happens when the moon also revolving in their own axis around this earth. When moon in this comes in these position, these parts of the orbit, and the light from sun can't fall on our earth. That's why we observe this. As we know that the size of the sun is much larger than the size of the earth, and also the size of the earth is also larger than the size of the moon. This is the mass of the sun, this is the radius of the sun, which is way larger than the mass of the earth and the mass of the radius of the earth. Also the size of the moon is way smaller than the size of the earth and its mass of the earth. Now, the moon is revolving its own orbit around the earth. Earth has two types of motion. One is rotation, that is, it is spinning on its own axis, and also it revolves around this elliptical path. Remember to note, this is not a circular path, rather it is elliptical path, and it completes this one revolution in 365 days, 6 hours and 9 minutes. And these extra 6 hours and 9 minutes airs after every 4 years, and it happens on 29th of February, and that year is called as a leap year. That is, we observe one extra day of that year. Now, the earth rotates in its own axis in 24 hours. That is, the rotation of earth on its own axis is 1 day, that is 24 hours. Remember to know that the earth's rotation is from west towards the east in anti-clockwise motion. Also, the moon is also revolving around the earth in anti-clockwise motion. That is, both the motion of earth and moon are anti-clockwise and pattern.